The next area is instructor qualifications or staff resources. There's a lot of requirements in here about, essentially ensuring that you have competent instructors, whether it be their experience teaching prior to qualifying, making sure that they're, actually experienced in the area that they're qualifying. I mean, not everybody has to be, a wind turbine technician or a medic, but, getting them exposure, some higher level of training. I know I've talked to some training providers that make sure that all their working at height instructors are SPRAT level 1. That's not called out in the requirement, but that's something that they're doing to show that their instructors have, advanced training, some higher level capabilities than just being a normal working at heights instructor. Give some time requirements around certification process, how often the instructor needs to deliver the course to maintain their competency, how often they need to be observed. Every instructor has to be observed by an internal auditor, not just an external auditor. And we saw that, called out in the management systems. And then how does the instructor comply with the learning objectives and the requirements of the course? All of those things are called out. The instructor development process can be challenging for a lot of organizations. There is a process laid out in the GWO standard. You can see those 4 steps in there about participating in the class. So they have actually attended the class as a participant, observe it as an observing instructor, getting a little bit more of a deep dive in the teaching process, going through several co-delivery processes with a certified instructor, and then finally delivering the final certification of a full course under the observation of an experienced instructor. There's some flexibility in this because, some companies have train the trainer processes. There's different ways that you can essentially combine those first 3 steps. It does state that, you need to have the same amount of time for familiarization with the materials, and that step 4, that final full course delivery under the observation needs to be done. There are some additional provisions in there where that final observation can be done by a certification body. There's a couple different ways that can be achieved, but I also do encourage people to consider partnering with other GWO training providers, whether those are, domestic within the US or Canada, or even reaching out to, maybe some European or Asia Pacific training providers, depending upon the competitive nature of your business and the other training providers in your area. But that's a helpful way of meeting that initial qualification if you're trying to figure that out.